Hello everybody. So glad to have all my fellow Libras. I'm a Libra too. I'm a September Libra. But so glad to have you all tuning in. I'm just going to light a little bit of sage. This is going to be just a lovely annual forecast for you, starting with this month, October, that we just began. So I'm a little late on getting you your reading right at the beginning of Libra season, but that's okay. I was celebrating my birthday. My birthday's on the 26th of September. So I've got a few decks that we're going to use. This is going to be an effective reading for Libra suns as well as Libra moons. If you're a sun sign or a moon sign, so you're going to get some impact out of that for both ways. And yeah, so you may know me on Facebook already. If you don't, it's great to meet you. My name is Holly. I am also known as the Akashic Queen. If you wanted to look for me up on Facebook, as far as Facebook pages go, I have a page called the Akashic Queen. I just love all things kind of spiritual. So let's go ahead and let's let some of this beautiful smoke energy, this sage, kind of run through the cards here. And we'll go ahead and begin. We're going to use a couple of decks, so we'll go ahead and sort of cleanse out all my decks really quick. And then the final one here, tarot. And hopefully my baby allows me to do this whole kind of reading that I had planned out for you, hopefully. So I'm just going to close my eyes and pull these cards out. All right, here we go. This is the time you can be doing other things. You can be multitasking, waiting for me to get these cards out to you. Sometimes I feel like maybe I should draw the cards ahead of time, but no, I love the energy of having you here. So this is every single month I'm going to have a card here for you. This is from the Soul Coaching deck that I just love. It's by Denise Lynn. Perfect. These cards are just popping right up. Also, feel free to hit subscribe now that you are watching this lovely video. Ooh, that one popped out right there. Oh, there's two of them. Here we go. So yeah, hit subscribe so you can see all of my videos. You can go find me on Facebook and like the Akashic Queen. Perfect. There we go. Let's go ahead and begin with these soul coaching cards. This just gives you a little bit of coaching from your soul. And yeah, I'm excited to bring these to you for each month of the year. So let's begin with October. This is the month that we're in. Some kind of energy that's going to be coming in for us right now. This is power. So I think, of course, whenever we're in our season, our Libra season, so to speak, there's a lot of power in that. You're emanating a lot of power from the stars, from the sky, the moon, just everything is in alignment, the sun. And so, yeah, you can really kind of sink into that and know that you are a glorious, powerful being. You're radiant. You have the ability and the power to create your own world, power of choice, power of free will. So it's really about executing your power right now in this month. So don't hold back. Be a very, very powerful month for you. This could set the amazing things up for the next year when you lead in with power. A lot of times there's some sort of purification that needs to be done right in the beginning when I do these annual readings for people, but I guess not for us. So what's coming in November? Let's look at that. So some silence. So right after we go through this power month, so to speak, this is going to ask us to sort of step back within ourselves. And now that we've put ourselves out there, it's time to sort of let the pendulum swing and take a step back. It says, I am serene no matter what is occurring around me. So what might have happened is you might have set some things in motion with your powerful energy here in October. And so now things might be a little bit chaotic. So this is a good affirmation that says no matter what's going on around me, I can be silent. I can have this serenity, this beautiful peace. So keep that in mind also, that even if things are calm in your world and going right, it might, and this is what your soul is telling you, it might really do you good to take some time, go into places where you be more quiet, maybe take more yoga classes where you practice silence, versus some of the more intense, like loud Zumba classes, or I do booty yoga, for example. So that's going to be something to keep in mind as well, to do some vinyasa yoga as well, maybe, because I'll be stepping back into the yoga scene. Probably in November after the recovery from the baby. So let's see what's going on in December. In December, we reach a point of transformation, which is really beautiful. And honestly, things kind of go into hibernation mode in the wintertime, and that's maybe where the silence card was leading us. And then when they come out, they are transformed. They're bigger. You know, if you have these bear cubs that went into hibernation, they come out like these teenage bears ready to go. Or the mom went in there and came out with bear cubs, things like that. So just realize that all the silence and this meditative space that you take in November is going to lead you to a powerful, powerful place of transformation. Transformation in December. And it says, I am joyously centered and safe as wonderful changes occur around me. So, and this is kind of, I also felt called to tell you, this is something that's just going to be happening on its own. You don't need to push for it. This beautiful transformation, it feels like that you're in a phase of growth, Libra. And so you can just allow it to happen. It doesn't have to be something that's strenuous or maybe out of your ordinary way of doing things. So keep that in mind. Let's look at January, the beginning of 2019. Let's see what that month holds for you. For us. This is for me too. So this is light. Let there be light. And once we come out of winter solstice, which is, of course, the shortest day of the year where we experience the most night, and it's a very introspective kind of month. So it's nice that you're having that period of transformation leading up to it. But that means you're ready to get out and be the light. You're ready to see the light. You're ready to kind of move forward in 2019. So it says, my light radiates through my life and the world around me. So a lot of people go through some blues in January, and Libra, we're not immune to that, even though we're very happy people normally. So this just reminds us to really be the light that we know we can be. And not only is that light going to help shine for everybody around you, but that's going to also help shine for yourself. So get yourself set up ahead of time. I know we always do our New Year's resolutions, but I just felt inspired. I was doing these meditations on connecting with nature and the rhythms of the world. I felt inspired to, let you guys know that that's more of a solstice, a winter solstice tradition, to look at the new things going ahead. That's what you do when you have all this nighttime space, when it's the shortest day of the year. You spend some time looking ahead. So I encourage you to actually step back and do that in December in your transformation phase, so that you're set up for January. So that you have the books that you want to be reading, so that you have the new things that you want to be doing all ready for you, so that you can really be that light. You can be the light for yourself, but then also for everybody around you, because we always, I think, gosh, Libras, we just want to be helping and healing and moving the vibration forward. That's how I feel. I feel like I have a lot of fellow Libras that feel the same way. Okay. Let's look at February. What's going on in February? It's going to bring us a period of grace. And grace is it's an interesting thing. It's something that you can't go after. You just have to find yourself in a space of grace. And but coming from January, where we're emanating this light, where we're allowing the light of the universe to shine into us and through us, it brings sort of this reverence to the surface, and that's what opens the door for grace. So the card says, I graciously accept the infinite love of the universe. Because when you're in the state of grace, it's like watching the perfect sunrise or the perfect sunset after the most amazing day with your beloved or your children, where they didn't fight at all and there weren't any messes to clean up. It's this feeling that everything is wonderful in the world. This is grace. So welcome it. Welcome it for February, for our love month, because that's what it really is. When you are in a state of grace, you are feeling the infinite love of the universe. So beautiful. Just love that. That's our February. So let's look at March. We have the spring equinox that comes up in March, welcoming us into springtime, kind of shifting us out of our winter. And so that brings a beautiful sense of delight to your life. And look at this scene, even portrays this beautiful springtime scene where you've got doves flying, you've got grass, green grass growing, and it looks like little flowers, although they're stars on the grass right there. So yes, you're going to have this beautiful sense of delight as we move into spring in 2019. And it says, I delight in everything in my world, and divine joy fills me. So not only do we have the infinite love of the universe supporting us in February, we now have divine joy fueling us in March. So take delight in your life. Really let, when I feel the word delight, I feel like I hear just delighted children giggling at whatever they're playing with, wherever, the simplest little things. They're just delighted. So feed your inner child in March a little bit. It's a time that you can really check in with what brings you delight. If you need help with that, check in with what brought you delight when you were a kid and see how that relates to being an adult. And if it's hard to make that transition, just do what brought you delight as a kid, because I promise you it's not too far off from giving you that feeling as an adult too. So there you go. Maybe go to a bounce house, a trampoline park. If it's appropriate weather in your area, maybe go play outdoors. Do some, you can go camping in March. I mean, you could be a little bit hardcore, but I've done it before in my younger years without such young children. So we'll probably do it again. Yeah, it's all about inner child in March. I'm really feeling that. Just delight in everything. So what happens in April? Let's see. I was like, what comes after March? April. So this is where you're going to get in a really good flow. Flow is the word for your April. So this is the glory of the universe flows through you. So again, this is this kind of thing where you don't want to push too much. And I feel that in 2019 for all of us, kind of allowing the flow of the universe to take us where we need to go. We don't want to be paddling upstream. We want to find ourselves moving in the direction that our higher self sort of has set out for us. And so this month in April, we get to check in with that. And that's oftentimes, once you do your inner child work and you feed your inner child, then you're more receptive to the flows that come to you. You're more receptive to the nudges from the universe, your higher self, your guides. And so this is what you're going to be. You're going to be just allowing forward movement to happen and allowing flow. It's time to not fight things. It's time to go with the flow. Okay. All right, let's see what we have in store for May. Beautiful May. One of my favorite months of the year. We have all sorts of beginnings happening in May. And I mean, a lot of times you're doing your gardening in May, so you're actually beginning a whole new cycle of life, getting ready to bring forth some fruits of your labor. And so think of that no matter where you live and whether you do a garden or not. May is going to be a really appropriate time because, again, you've just allowed yourself to be directed in the places and to the places, maybe that's better, to the places that is going to be serving your higher path and purpose the most. So that's where we're at in April, and then that allows us to really, really step into these beginnings, these new beginnings that we're going to encounter in May. It says, I cherish all the cycles of my life. Oh, I love that one. Because we all have different cycles, beginnings, middle, endings, and we all do different projects at different phases of various cycles all the time. So it's really good to have these cherishing moments when you know you're at the beginning of a cycle, because you have this whole journey ahead of you. It's kind of a beautiful quest, so to speak. Okay, so now we're coming up on June. June is where we have our summer solstice in June. We have the longest day of the year, and this brings us the ability to go out and adventure. and create an adventure and treat life as an adventure. And it says wonderful new experiences fill your life. So, sometimes new beginnings can be a little bit intimidating, and that's where you're going to maybe have a little bit of that feeling, this butterflies in your stomach in April, and then that can bring you, or that was May, beginnings was May, excuse me, that can bring you to June, where you're really excited for your journey and you're in the middle of your new adventure. So keep that in mind. Might be some traveling coming up in June. Of course, that's summer where I'm at. And so hopefully, let's see, my family will be a little bit more grown by then. I'll definitely have a crawling little baby on my hands, as well as, a 2.5 and a 4.5-year-old. So, maybe we'll do our first adventure with like a weekend camping trip. I don't know. I really want to get back into camping. So you'll have to let me know. Send me a comment. What your inner child spoke to you? When I was talking about delight, what was your inner child saying to you? So that would be kind of my adventure. I'd hold over some of the delight that I'm experiencing in March and get excited for June. So what does July bring? A whole bunch of playfulness. And what better card at the peak of the summer? At least the summer over here in the Northern Hemisphere. What better card than this one with the sandcastle? Playfulness, playfulness. My joy is the greatest gift that I can give to others. So playfulness, again, maybe 2019 is the whole year of the inner child. I just keep feeling that over and over. And so maybe that's something we need to bring back into our scope, so that the adventures we went on in June, we don't get sort of sad that those are over when we move into July, which is, everybody's excited about July. We have a great celebration. If you're in the United States, we have the 4th of July, and it's all about barbecues and swimming pools and beaches and just holidays and vacations. So take a little element of playfulness. Don't take things too seriously. If things start starting to go awry that month at all, just be playful, laugh a little, say, hey, I'm alive, I'm breathing. That's all that really matters. Everything, this too shall pass. So you can really just, again, have the joy that you can give to others, and may that be the greatest gift that you give, is your ability to light up somebody's life with that joy. So August, we're getting here near the end. August, essence. What a beautiful card, this beautiful flower. When I think of essence, I think the essence of my heart opening. That's what I was just thinking of. When I smell a rose, when I smell a beautiful, beautiful flower, I feel like it's that essence that really gets my heart to open, that opens up my heart chakra. And this says, in my essence, I am joy. And it really is a great card to follow that playfulness card. It being the joy that you give others is the greatest gift that you could give them. And when you can give away something that comes from your heart, that comes from the center of your being, you really turn into somebody that can emanate that all the time. And I think that's what that essence card is saying to you. We've almost come full circle. We're coming up on September again, which is the beginning of Libra season. And you're really experiencing the essence of what you've learned over this past year, what you've accomplished, where you've gone through a period of power and silence and transformation, and then also kind of been to 2019 really exuding light, grace, joy, and accepting this new beginning that's come to you. So let's find out what September holds. A lot of joy is coming to you. So let's see, joy and ecstasy flow through me wildly and freely. Look at this. So you connect with your inner child in 2019. This is the overall message that's coming through now. You connect with that inner child. Do some healing work on the inner child. Work from the space of your heart. Connect up with your solar plexus chakra, where your emotions and your feelings of who you are and what you stand for and what you want to bring to this world, those are located there. And then also what your heart's desires are. And go back and see what you wanted as a child, what you wanted to be and do and feel and experience. And yeah, that's going to be the message. Do a lot of inner child work this year, and it's going to bring you through a whole cycle of joy and grace and delight It'll change the essence of who you are. Okay. I wanted to do a few cards for specific for Libra Sun signs, and then also specific for Libra Moon signs. So let's do that. I have these archetype cards, and I don't know, I've done a ton of studying on archetypes. And so if you have any questions on archetypes after this, please reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help you kind of more fully embrace and understand them. But there's a shadow and a light side to every archetype, like a, just a polarity kind of, for whatever is good and the gifts that something can embody and exude. There's also the shadow sides. So these cards can kind of give us a hint and inkling and understanding of what archetypes we might be embracing in the next year. I'm going to draw 3 of them. And also an understanding of what their shadows are, so we can see ahead of time when we might be emanating these kinds of shadow aspects, and then also when we see that ahead of time, we can say, okay, this archetype is popping up in its shadow, and this is a perfect opportunity, a gift opportunity for me to move into the light of the archetype and to pull out the gift that archetype will bring you. So let's start with Libra. Let's start with Libra sun signs. I gotta be careful. These are thin cards. I don't want to bend them. So let's do 3 cards for Libra Sun. And these again are 3 archetypes that you're going to be more fully embracing in the next year. Let's look at them right now. Okay, so this first one is the Rebel. What a fabulous archetype, the Rebel. Okay, so a better understanding of the Rebel, the light attributes of the Rebel, and this is something, rebels aren't necessarily negative. There can be a rebel with a cause. Who have been the famous rebels out there in our lifetime that have really gone against the grain? Think of whoever pops up in your mind. You might think, for example, anybody that is participating in some sort of movement that's against the norm. Those are rebels, peaceful rebels, but there's also like the mischievous rebels too. So the light attributes of a rebel: challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. So think of that. Again, those are the light attributes. These are the gifts that you can even bring to help other people's understanding. So for me, that's huge. I resonate very deeply with the rebel archetype. Not only in this next year, because I'm a Sun Libra, but also through periods of my life, because I had to reject the religious upbringing that I was part of and sort of welcome in a different type of spirituality that I could connect with and grow with and really love, and have that move me forward into my purpose and into my path. So I connect with the Rebel very deeply. It's one of my core 12 archetypes. We all have 12 archetypes that we primarily focus on working with in each lifetime. The shadow attributes here: rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So these can be the rebels that are more into keeping up with the Joneses and society and things like that. So keep that in mind. Where can you be a rebel in your life and affect positive change? What will be your cause, Rebel Libra? All right, next card. We have, so I said we were going to do a lot of child work in 2019, and the cards don't lie, okay, guys? So, also something you should know about the child archetype is that we have all of us have 4 archetypes that we all have. Okay, and then I said you work with 8 others that are a variety of. There's a whole deck full of archetypes here. So this gives you an idea of what you have to sort of experience. So the 4 archetypes that we all have are like the legs of a table, okay? And so there's the child, the victim, the prostitute, and the saboteur. So I know a lot of them sound negative. I won't get into the descriptions on all of them, but we are going to be working with our wounded child in this next year. And this is just bringing out those childhood wounds and parenting your child, being a mom or being a dad to your inner child, being there for them and helping heal those wounds so you can really move forward. So the light attributes of a wounded child is awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. So if you're a wounded child, you can bring out amazing things through your healing for others. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. This is another light attribute. Shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. We've heard that. Okay, we've heard that before. Resist moving on through forgiveness. So not able to forgive, not using that as a fundamental kind of universal law of what we're here to experience, is understanding how to forgive and encompass universal love. So there's your child archetype. And then the third one for Libra suns, this is the judge archetype. And so the light attributes of the judge: balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So judge, it doesn't have to be like you're judgmental, okay? So this is just, and again, I love that it's got the scales here in the picture for Libra, hello. And I do resonate with that, wanting things to be balanced. So a judge, the ability to see a balanced conclusion to something. Shadow attributes, offering only destructive criticism. Wow, okay, I'm gonna be able to pay attention to when I'm doing this in my life. Misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. There you go. There you go. So I felt called to I need to put those back. So I'm gonna have to remember, because I want to study these cards. We're gonna leave that one down because that one fell out right away. So these ones want to go back in the mix. Just in case the Libra moon signs, these are your 3 archetype cards. And then my baby needs me, so I'm going to go after that. But just in case they need one of the same ones, so that's a possibility. It's a possibility. All right, here we go. And we'll do one final card. Oh, actually, you get 2. Lucky moons. Lucky Libra moons. Okay, so I might go a tad, if I hear my baby cry, I might be like cruising through these. So let's see, because I want to get through all 4 of these for you. Okay, so we have our first archetype that you're going to be welcoming. This is again for Libra moon signs. This is the Virgin. So look at this, the Virgin. What an interesting archetype. So let's look at the light attributes. Maintaining symbolic purity or symbolic purity. Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. So this is a very light attribute. Shadow attribute. Fear of intimate union. Okay, so fear of intimacy, fear of getting closer, fear of shifts or changes in a relationship. I can see where that might be the Virgin archetype that's coming up, holding you back from something that is really good for you, really healthy, really loving. So really look at that. See how you can change any of those feelings or emotions to transmuting that fear to love and joy and compassion and understanding. I love that. Interesting Virgin archetype. That's the first time I've ever seen that card. So, okay, we have the Detective. This is your second one. What a cool picture on this one. You see her just like sneaking a peek through the book. So, Detective, this is obviously, you're going to be kind of snooping around here. So let's see that you use it in a positive way. So light attributes, great powers of observation and intuition. So your intuition is on the rise here, Libra moons. Desire to seek out the truth. So you might have been working on something energetically in this past year, and you're really going to focus on the truth of really nailing it down in this next, not just 2019, but the rest of this year and leading into next year. Shadow attributes, voyeurism, watching when you shouldn't be watching. Falsifying information. Interesting. And I also felt, you know, as I said, you know, kind of stalking people and not reaching out to them when you should. There's one thing to do a little light Facebook stalking, but if you're merely kind of watching over somebody without ever coming to face-to-face conversation with them, that's no good. So let's look at your next card. So we have the Scribe. What a beautiful archetype card. The Scribe. I actually feel like I've resonated with the Scribe on multiple times throughout my life, but I'm not sure if it's one of my main ones. So the light attributes here: preserving knowledge and information. The Scribe. Shadow attributes: altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. Okay. So, interestingly enough, I know that I have experienced points with the Scribe because I exuded the shadow aspects of it when I was younger, like a lot younger. So, you know, we just have to be real with it when we see these things within ourselves, because we can notice it, we can move forward into a space of change, and we can forgive. We can forgive ourselves for doing those things and not beat ourselves up for it anymore. So, and then you got the bonus card, Libra Moon, right here. Visionary. One of my favorite archetypes. One of the one of the archetypes that embodies these light workers, these people that want to move into change and being the change. Light attributes: capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Visionaries. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. So this is beautiful. Visionaries is, you know, Mother Mary, Gandhi, you know, these people had visions of change, and they went outside of the space of personal gain, and they just did it. They just did the work. Shadow attributes: selling insights to the highest bidder. Compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. See, the awakened leaders that are really coming out right now, we have to really battle that, compromising our vision in order to make it more palatable. Because the thing about it is massive change and revolutionary change sometimes isn't necessarily palatable. It's not always easy. So it's really important to get in there, look at your vision, and then don't water it down. So that's some messages for you, Libra Moon. All right. Again, it was so wonderful to connect with you, Libras, today. I'm tickled pink that I get to get through the whole card reading without my baby exploding too much. I did hear him, but Dad was there to step in. So, again, please go ahead, and if you'd like a personal reading, send me a request on Facebook. I am at the Akashic Queen is my Facebook page. My name is Holly. And also you can send me messages here on YouTube, and we can connect up that way. I am doing limited readings while I'm on maternity leave. I do these video readings. I don't even need to be like face-to-face or in person with you on a video conference. So please let me know if that interests you, and we will just kind of go from there. It was wonderful to connect with you, sweet soul of Libras, and we will talk to you soon.